This is part two of everything I picked up in 2025, and we're going to be talking more of my Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, and Switch collection. And make sure to stick around for next week's part three, which will be the final part that will go over the top 10 games that I picked up that are my favorite of 2025. Some of the first things I picked up this year was Pokemon games. I did get Pokemon Red, and I also picked up Pokemon Silver. I did want to get these two games back into my collection. I grew up with Red and grew up with Silver as well, but played a lot of Red. And then when Silver came out, Silver is my absolute favorite Pokemon back then. So I love Gen 2. Well, I can't say it's my favorite Pokemon game because checking part three, and you'll see my favorite Pokemon game of all time. But yeah, these were a must-have in the collection, so I wanted to make sure I had these added. I did add Super Mario Advance 2 into my list. Super Mario World is one of my favorite games as well on Super Nintendo, so it was a no-brainer to add this into the list as well. Wanted to have it on the go on my DS and be able to play it whenever. It's a timeless game. One of my other favorite games on the Super Nintendo, Diddy Kong's Quest. Make sure you got the GBA version of that as well. It's an amazing game. I love it so much. Rare really did the thing when it came to Diddy Kong's Quest, in my opinion. It is such an amazing game. Never played this series before until this year, but the Mystery Dungeon series, I did get this at a game exchange. Didn't play this one yet, but I have played the DS versions, so might need to give this a try, but I heard the DS versions are better than this anyway, but glad to have it in the collection nonetheless. I have mentioned in my previous videos that I do love me some cartoon related games. I did get Dexter's Laboratory Disaster Strikes on GBA, as well as Chess Challenge. I picked up those two this year because I like Dexter's Laboratory a lot. I got the complete series on DVD, but I wanted cartoon-related games. I think I got Chess Challenge because it was bundled in with Disaster Strikes, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, glad to have it. I like chess. I don't think I'll play it that much, but I like chess. Also, speaking of cartoon-related games, Fairly Odd Parents Shadow Showdown. That's it, right? Yeah, Shadow Showdown. And I also got a 2-for-1, Fairly Odd Parents Breaking All the Rules and SpongeBob SquarePants Battle Bikini Bottom. This was a 2-for game, which I think I paid like $3 or something at my local game store for these. They were super cheap. I just wanted to have them. I like Fairly Odd Parents a lot, so it was good to have that as well. And the last GBA game that I have is not an official release. It was a custom ROM hack. It's Pokemon Liquid Crystal. I love Crystal. I just don't own it, haven't played it, and I like that they have the GBA graphics, and I think this one's more challenging if I'm not mistaken. So glad to pick up Liquid Crystal as well, but I do want to get the original Crystal also. Moving on to my Switch collection, I've picked up Switch games here and there. It is not a huge collection by any means, but got some good stuff within there, and there's maybe one or two stinkers. I don't know. Recently, actually this week, I picked up Super Mario RPG. I love Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, and I don't know why it took me so long to pick this up, but I finally found it for like a decent price at my local game store. So I picked this game up just this week, actually. TMNT Cowabunga Collection has all the classic TMNT games on there. Like I said before in previous videos, I'm a huge TMNT fan, big collector of TMNT. This was a no-brainer as well. I got this at release at that point. I got this after release because this was on sale for sure. But yeah, Cowabunga Collection. Pokemon Legends. I played a lot of this. I have completed the entire story of this. It is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. I love the story of it, like the history behind it, like the spin that they put on this game. I love Pokemon Legends. I can't wait to play the newest Pokemon game on Switch 2. I don't own a Switch 2 yet, but hopefully that will change in the near future. But Legends was a great playthrough. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. I picked this up this year because I was on Reddit and I seen a bunch of Targets had a bunch of stuff on sale, and this was one of them. I think I got this for like $17 at Target. Never played an Advanced War game until this, but I've always been interested in them. It's really fun, kind of addicting actually. So glad I got this. Glad I got it for cheap and didn't have to pay full price for this. This is my stinker game of my Switch collection. Dragon Ball The Breakers. Not a good game. There was a reason why this was brand new for $10. I think at Walmart or Target, one of the two. It's not good. Play anything else besides this. I thought, I was like, oh, I like Dragon Ball, but they put out so much Dragon Ball Z games now that this was just not it. I'd rather go play Spark and Zero or something. Don't get this. So this is the stinker in my group, and it's gonna stay in my collection just because if I go trade it in, it's not gonna get much value out of it. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. I got this off of a Retro Rick Whatnot stream. Always wanted it, never had it, so I ended up picking up the Pro Skater 1 and 2 for Switch. I remember playing Tony Hawk 1 and 2 growing up on N64. Loved them. I actually got both on N64 back in the day for an Easter, of all things. Sitting there in my Easter basket, Tony Hawk 1 and 2. So, love the Tony Hawk series. I think these will never, not be fun to play, in my opinion. New Pokemon Snap. I got this. I played just a little bit of it because I was playing a lot of Switch N64 and playing Pokemon Snap through there. So I haven't actually played too much of this, but I do like that there was a new Snap game that came out. So I did want to make sure I had this in the collection. I will try to make some time to play this though, but Pokemon Snap. I bought this on a whim, and I think I played for like an hour. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. I wanted something like Harvest Moon. If I'm not mistaken, the people that made this made Harvest Moon. Don't quote me on that, but I wanted like a farming simulator kind of game. Thought this would be fun. I had this for a while, but didn't really put too much time into it. I'm not sure if farm sims are like my thing or not. I do miss playing Harvest Moon like older systems, but I don't know about that one. WarioWare Get Together. I love the WarioWare series. I think WarioWare is some of the best games of all time. They're quick, they're fast-paced, they're really funny, they're really unique. Do yourself a favor, if you haven't got into the WarioWare series, you should definitely do so. Mario Golf Super Rush, not tennis. I love Mario sports games. This was a no-brainer when this came out, so I had to pick up Mario Golf. Super Mario Odyssey. Played it when it first launched, did not like it. Ended up selling my Switch back then because I wasn't playing it. Rebought a Switch OLED and really enjoy it now. I guess when I first played it, when it first launched, it just did not strike that interest in me. But now this is like a top tier Mario game. I'm kind of sad that it took me this long to kind of discover it, but Super Mario Odyssey. I keep wanting to say Super Mario World. The Super Mario Odyssey is a great game. That's gonna be a classic for years. And then the last game on my Switch, which I didn't realize how beat up this game was until just now, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Have yet to play this, but I do plan on picking it up. But I'm probably gonna honestly pick up a Diamond on DS. So I don't know if I want to play this or not. I'll probably just play the original DS version before I play this, but I do own it, so there's that. That is all my Switch stuff. Like I said, not a ton of Switch, but Switch nonetheless. And we'll move into my 3DS because I want to save DS for last because I think I've had so much more fun with DS than anything. But yeah, I left 3DS for last. I'll do 3DS next, because DS I want to leave for last, because I had so much more fun with DS than I did 3DS. But the game I picked up for 3DS was Puzzle Dragons, Super Mario Edition. I haven't played this yet because this thing will not read in my system. It reads that there's a game there, but it will not launch the game. And I was watching JRPG Life, and they had problems with this game as well, so I think there might be a problem with my actual game. I tried getting updates and forcing updates onto it. It will not launch, so I have yet to play this yet, but I want to because it looks very interesting. I want to play it. Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Love the Donkey Kong Country series, so this was a no-brainer as well. I remember playing this on Wii when it first dropped back in the day. So I wanted to get the 3DS version on the go. Really fun game. It might be a little too easy. I still prefer the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country games, but glad to have it nonetheless. I keep on wanting to say Super Mario. Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7 is amazing. I have not played Mario Kart 7 until this year, and I'm glad I picked it up. It is a really amazing kart racer. I'm just kind of mad that I didn't pick this up sooner, especially when I had a 3DS years ago, because Mario Kart 7 is top tier in my opinion. You should definitely play Mario Kart 7. This is a game I have not played yet, but I plan on playing once I get the first one and some others. Yokai Watch 2, Fleshy Souls. This was kind of an impulse buy at a gaming convention. I got this year because I seen JRPG Life talk about Yokai Watch and how much they like Yokai Watch. So I wanted to pick it up too. This was like I think I got this in a bundle deal with Puzzle Dragons and got it for fairly cheap. So I was like, well, I might as well just have it, and then once I get the other games, I'll pick them up whenever I can and play through the series. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I love Luigi's Mansion so much, so I got this at a flea market for like $11, complete in box. So also a no-brainer. Luigi's Mansion is an amazing game, so why not have it on the 3DS? And then I've talked about JRPG Life so much in this video, but I really do get a lot of recommendations off their videos when I watch them. Adventure Time: A Secret of the Nameless Kingdom. They said this was like a Legend of Zelda clone with a Adventure Time skin. I like Legend of Zelda. I like Adventure Time, so this kind of fit right up my alley. So I wanted to make sure I picked this up. I got this at a convention as well for like really, really cheap. I don't know if he just had it mispriced or what, but it was like less than $10, less than $8, something like that. Really fun to play through. You should definitely play this Adventure Time game. Back on my WarioWare, picked this up off of like eBay or something. It was brand new. I opened it because it's the international release or something. WarioWare Gold. Had a lot of fun playing this. I have not played all the way through it, but I have played a good chunk of it. It's really fun. I just like having something like a WarioWare game. You pick it up, play for like 10 minutes, and you put it down. I love WarioWare so much. And then rounding out my 3DS stuff are two Pokemon games. There's a dog hair on this. Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. I picked these up because I wanted to get all of the Pokemon games, and I had a challenge for myself, or a goal for myself, to get all the Pokemon games from release until the newest system, which we switched to, and that kind of got revised. And my very first video I put on the channel, I kind of revised that, where like, okay, maybe I don't want everything, but I kind of made it where I would get anything from Game Boy to DS. But I had already gotten these at that point, which I do plan on playing these. I just haven't had time to play these yet. So I'm glad to have them. It's just I may not get the rest on the 3DS. I haven't decided yet though. But that is all of my 3DS. And last but not least is my DS collection. I really liked the DS. It's something I never had before, but I got into it this year, and I can't wait to buy more games for my DS. I have played more games than I do have because I have a modded 3DS, but once I started collecting again, I want to get the physical copies of those games I've played as well. I'll start off with my lower budget games. Need for Speed Nitro, Johnny Bravo, Datarama, and I don't know how to pronounce this, Zaya Lin. I know this was like a show from back in the day, but I picked all these up just kind of at random. Datarama I picked up because I love Johnny Bravo. The game is terrible. Haven't played Need for Speed. Haven't played the Showdown game either though. These are kind of just fillers on the shelf at the moment. I think these were like impulse buys, but they're on the shelf. So who knows? They're just cheap games. Picked this up in recent months, and I was kind of surprised that I never really played Kirby games, but I bought Kirby Squeak Squad. This was really fun. I don't know if this is like the best in the series or anything for the DS, but this did make me want to start trying to play more Kirby games. So this was super fun. So I might try to pick up more Kirby games on the DS and see how those are as well. If you have a suggestion for Kirby games, let me know, because I am very open to it. I like Kirby as the character, never really played the game, so this is like my introduction to Kirby. This game I picked up actually this week as well, with that when I was talking about Super Mario RPG. Love Castlevania, so I got Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. Never played this before in my life. I've played all the NES and the Super Nintendo Castlevania games and Symphony of the Night on PS1, but I've never played any of the DS or GBA games, so I kind of want to start picking some of them up. It looked really fun, and people said that the Castlevania games on DS were really good. I know there's two more Castlevania games on DS, so I might need to pick those up as well and see how they are. But really happy to get this, and then also I only got it for $20, so I was happy about that, because I think it's like a $30-ish game, something like that. So can't complain for a complete in-box Castlevania game on DS. Let's see. I also picked up some obscure, lesser talked about Pokemon games. This one just came in this week as well. Pokemon Troze. I love puzzle games. I like Pokemon. It was kind of a no-brainer. I don't think people really talk about Troze as much, but I've been having a lot of fun with it this week. So Pokemon Troze. I got this one super cheap also. It just took a long time. I bought this on eBay, and it came from Canada, and it took like 2 months to get here. So I don't know what that was about, but glad to have it. Pokemon Ranger. Never played the Ranger series. Wanted to pick up something different. Like I said, I was wanting to get all the DS Pokemon games, so Ranger was one of them. Ranger was really fun. I've really enjoyed playing it. I think it's a cool spin on the Pokemon series in itself, like with a stylus and catching Pokemon. So I suggest playing Pokemon Rangers. I still need to pick up the other 2 Ranger games. Got these next 2 at Second and Charles, Adventure Time game. I picked this up because I thought the game I mentioned before was the game that JRPG Life mentioned, but it wasn't. But nonetheless, it's an okay game. I enjoyed playing it, but I wanted to add this collection. I got this for like cheap at Second and Charles. So, and then also at Second and Charles was Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. Didn't play this yet because I was thinking about getting it on the PSP. I have a PSP, but I have no games for it, and I want to say that I watched a comparison video and that the PSP version was better, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But regardless, I have it. Got it at Second and Charles, also pretty cheap. I don't even know what this game goes for on 3DS, but glad to have a 3DS. Sorry, glad to have a 3DS. Glad to have a Grand Theft Auto game on the DS nonetheless. And then we got a handful of other games here, and this is kind of rounding out the rest of my DS stuff. Mario Party DS, underrated. Like, it is an amazing DS game, amazing Mario Party game. They really jammed a whole Mario Party game within the DS, and it works very well. I like all the characters, liked all the mini games, and the full boards. It's so good. I wish I had friends that we could all play this on local connection, but none of my friends want to play DS. So Digimon World Dawn, I got this at Second and Charles as well. I think they had like a $80 price tag on it, but I had traded in a bunch of like old vintage X-Men action figures that I just didn't really either care for or had doubles of, and I technically got this for free with trade-in. I know that's not how math works, and I paid for it somehow, but glad to have it. Love Digimon as well, just as much as Pokemon, so I didn't know they were making, I didn't know they had Digimon games. I think there's, what, Dusk as well, and there's something else on the DS series, but I'm going to try to find more Digimon games, but I didn't realize how pricey these were getting. Another amazing game, Diddy Kong Racing DS. Love the Diddy Kong series, love the racing series on it. On N64, glad to have this on my my DS collection, but yeah, I talked about this in my last video with my discovering of the DS this year. It is an amazing game. I'm glad that they put this on the DS. Mario Kart DS, another game that totally missed me as a kid. Never played it until this year. An amazing Mario Kart racing game. I'm surprised it took me this long to discover it, but I'm glad I did. I think I got this at a local game store as well. It wasn't terribly too expensive or anything, but I'm glad to have this in the collection. And then I have my last two Pokemon games that I'm going to show you in this video. You'll have to check out part 3 for my last DS Pokemon game, but Mystery Dungeon series. These are Explorer of Time and Explorer of Darkness. I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy the Mystery Series dungeons. I got the GBA version, but I didn't really play that. I played the DS versions of these two. So the stories are amazing on them. There's like over 400 Pokemon to like appear in the game. Like, I don't know, it's really packed with a lot of good stuff in it. And this is like, these two games are my introduction to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, so I think they're good. Maybe at one point I'll need to get the Explorers of Sky if I can find that for a decent price. But the last game on my DS collection was New Super Mario Bros. And I talked about this in my last video as well. It is a game that I never knew I needed to play. It is amazing. It felt like old school Mario met modern Mario. It really did. It sucked me in. I liked it. It sucked me in. I liked it a lot, and it's probably like, I don't know, top 5 Mario games of all time for me, possibly. But that is my entire DS collection. This will wrap up part 2. Stay tuned next week for part 3, and I'll show you my top 10 favorite pickups of this year. There's some GameCube, there's some PS2, there's some GBA, there's some DS in there. So stay tuned next week, and let me know how you like this video down in the comments below. This is Cameron. This is Retro Carnage. Sorry, I'm Cameron, and this is Retro Carnage. Wow.